This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on air and online at KVIA.com. I'm Stephanie Valle. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Las Cruces. A crash kills a young woman and leaves 4 others critically injured. It happened just after 2 this afternoon near University and Trevize Drive. The intersection is north of the Pan American Center on the NMSU campus. Police told ABC-7 the 18-year-old woman was driving with 4 other teens in a pickup truck on University when she crashed into a truck on Trevize. Investigators believe she ran a red light. Police say the teen's truck rolled and landed on its roof. 2 teens were riding in the back of the truck and were thrown out. The 2 inside the truck were partially ejected. Police say they were not wearing seat belts. The driver of the other truck was not hurt. The 4 teens are being treated at University Medical Center tonight. And the ABC-7 newsroom is getting more information on a motorcycle crash in northeast El Paso. It happened a few hours ago at Dyer and Leo near Chapin High School. ABC-7 was at the scene and we saw a small SUV with significant damage to its front end and a motorcycle on the side of the road. Our crew also spotted a helmet near the bike. Emergency dispatchers said the motorcyclist may have been thrown more than 50 feet. El Paso police officers at the scene said they couldn't give us more information without talking first with Fort Bliss Military Police. An update on a deadly crash in Hatch, New Mexico left 2 people dead. The man who is accused of selling beer to the teenagers involved is behind bars. Sheriff's deputies say he's the owner of a makeshift store. Investigators say 65-year-old Alfredo Alanis sold 8 cans of Budweiser for about $10 to a 13-year-old boy. Investigators say that boy was with 16-year-old Vanessa Rodriguez and her friend 16-year-old Sonia Rodriguez. Vanessa allegedly took her parents' truck without permission to go drinking with Sonia and the 13-year-old. Deputies say Vanessa crashed head-on into a car driven by 32-year-old Elida Garcia, who died at the scene. Garcia's passenger suffered serious injuries. Sonia Rodriguez died when she was partially thrown from the truck. The 13-year-old boy riding the truck was also injured. Prosecutors say they will try Vanessa Rodriguez as an adult. ABC-7 has learned the family of a Las Cruces cancer patient is suing Elite Medical Transport out of El Paso, as well as Southwest Aviation and Amigo Aviation in Las Cruces. Back on August 27th, the plane carrying Frederick Green crashed just west of the Las Cruces International Airport. Elite Medical Transport was supposed to fly Green from Las Cruces to Phoenix for treatment. In addition to the patient, 35-year-old nurse Monica Chavez, 28-year-old medic Torian Summers, and the 29-year-old pilot Freddie Martinez were also killed in the crash. A report by federal investigators found the wrong fuel was poured into the plane's fuel compartment. ABC-7 called and emailed the president of Elite Medical Transport. He did not get back to us by deadline. And let's move on to Stormtrack Weather now. We have a live look outside courtesy of the ABC-7 Mountain Cam. This is a view of the city you'll see only on ABC-7. And Storm Tracker Nicole Gomez is standing by with a look at our forecast. Nicole, it's a beautiful day today.
A beautiful day, and Stephanie, another beautiful night. You know, it's kind of hard to believe that we're in fall. Let's take a look at our daytime highs today. Close to 90 degrees in some locations. Notice Nolan Richardson, 87 was the high today. We even started out with temperatures in the 50s. 76 is the current temperature just outside of the studio, where we hit a high of 86 degrees today and 88 out in Cañutillo. So as you can see, temperatures today, and of course if you were out and about, you know just how warm it was. As far as our wind speeds, notice how calm they are across the region. We're at 3 miles per hour at the El Paso International Airport. Light winds, Las Cruces, only 7 miles per hour in Ruidoso. And the winds are not a problem tonight. Temperatures are still comfortable. Guadalupe Pass winds are coming in at 13 miles per hour. Our current temperature here in El Paso, 74. We're at 67, Las Cruces. Close to 70 degrees, Guadalupe Pass. 71 is the current temperature in TRC. So as I mentioned, another beautiful night. Now we are tracking some changes to your weekend forecast. We'll talk about those changes and when you can expect them. That's all coming up in your full forecast.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. New developments today in the tuberculosis exposure at Providence Hospital. 3 additional babies have tested positive for TB. However, health officials say 2 of those are expected to be false positives because the babies were administered the BCG vaccine. The city's Department of Public Health tells ABC-7 66% of the patient pool is now tested, so it's shifting its focus from testing to treatment. Today we learned the treatment rate remains low for exposed infants under 6 months who've been recommended for preventative medication, even without testing positive. Only 29 such babies out of 205 have been receiving the daily doses. The health department says it will renew its efforts to reach out to the families of at-risk babies who are declining treatment.
In the middle of a public health investigation. There's lawyers and things, but we're going to get there. So we're going to ask to see the WIC databases to see if these babies are on WIC anywhere in Texas at least, and if not, we can probably look at New Mexico as well because it's close by.
Officials say many parents may be concerned about possible side effects of the treatment, including those affecting liver function. And during today's news conference, the health department also addressed concerns about the Ebola cases in Dallas. Health officials say they're confident area hospitals are prepared to handle a potential outbreak. Public Health Director Robert Resendez says hospitals have been training for years to be ready for a situation like the one unfolding in Dallas. He adds hospitals are fully equipped with isolation rooms, decontamination units, and hazmat gear. Dr. Hector Ocaranza with the El Paso Health Authority tried to calm any fears today.
It's very important that the CDC team stresses on universal precautions, how to gown, how to take off their protective equipment. So those are the times that definitely they need to be very careful, but for those people that are just casually there, there's not going to be any risk.
Today, ABC-7 learned the health department has received several calls from people who believed they were experiencing Ebola-like symptoms but did not have the virus. It could be weeks until we hear whether a judge will exclude Daniel Villegas' 1993 murder confession during the third murder trial. Villegas was convicted in 1995 for a drive-by shooting that resulted in 2 deaths. That conviction was overturned by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals last December. ABC-7's Pilar Arias has reaction following the conclusion of a 2-day evidence suppression hearing.
Judge Sam Medrano refused to listen to closing arguments from the prosecution or defense at the Daniel Villegas suppression hearing.
Now that it's all over, I feel, like a weight's off me. Now we just gotta wait and see how the judge rules, and I mean, we're hoping that we'll get a rule in our favor.
A decision by Judge Medrano is expected by the end of the month. He will decide whether or not Villegas' 20-plus-year-old confession can be used as evidence.
I believe the judge is going to suppress the evidence. I think the judge has no choice given the state of the evidence that was presented at the suppression, the totality of all the evidence at the writ hearing, and its first and second trial as well.
This is the third time Villegas has faced trial for the drive-by shooting murders of Robert Englund and Armando Lazo in Northeast El Paso in 1993. Prosecutor Denise Butterworth said in a written statement, quote, "The admissibility of the statement given by Daniel Villegas has been ruled upon 4 separate times, and each time has been held to be voluntary and admissible." At the hearing this week, detectives, a probation officer, and a municipal court judge unequivocally denied statements that the defendant made against them. "We believe these witnesses are truthful and the statement was legally obtained."
Even when this finishes, it's always going to stick by me. I mean, to this day, I still wake up at nights and stuff, and so this is nothing that's ever going to go away. It's marked for life.
Villegas' new trial is set for January 2015. Pilar Arias, ABC-7.
The conversation surrounding the Texas voter ID law is far from over. With elections just around the corner, County Judge Veronica Escobar is warning voters to be prepared for anything. Last week, a federal judge in Texas ruled the law was unconstitutional. But just a couple days ago, an appeals court reinstated the law, saying it was too late to change the rules for the November election. The merits of the law are still under appeal, and that's why Escobar is encouraging voters to be aware of their options. Escobar says if you forget your ID, you can still vote that day.
If the election worker says, sorry, you don't have an acceptable form of ID, you can't vote today, the voter needs to understand they can vote that day via provisional ballot.
If you do vote with a provisional ballot, you have 6 days to return to the election office with a photo ID in order for your vote to be counted. Sheriff's deputies foil a plot to smuggle human remains into Mexico. ABC-7 has an update on the case against an El Paso mortuary business and funeral home. Tonight, a third person is behind bars. Plus,
I think they're ridiculous. I don't think they're really going to slow much down.
What's up with all those speed humps in a West El Paso neighborhood? They're supposed to make a street safer, but some drivers aren't satisfied. And in Stormtrack Weather, Nicole.
Well, the rain chances will go up. We're also tracking cooler temperatures. I'll have your full Stormtrack Weather forecast coming up.
This is ABC 7 at 9, where news comes first.